Hello. This class is about how to make a clay goblin mask.
Miss, what do we need to make it?
The things we need are a rolling pin, 2 wooden blocks, sheets of paper, a pencil, a plastic knife and fork, a skewer, a sponge, some string, paint, clay, and some resin. Do you have them?
Yes, miss. Now what do we do?
First, sketch out what you would like your mask to look like.
Done, miss.
Secondly, you have to knead the clay like you were kneading dough.
Why do we have to knead it, miss?
To get the air bubbles out. If you put clay in the kiln when it has air bubbles, the heat will make the bubbles explode along with your clay artwork.
Okay, what's next?
Place your clay in between your 2 wooden blocks and roll the clay with the rolling pin so that the clay becomes the same height as the wooden blocks.
Now what?
Use the plastic knife to cut the shape of the face that you designed earlier. Step 5. Take some extra clay and split it in half. Roll these 2 halves into spheres. Now using a plastic fork, scratch the bottom of the spheres and scratch on the clay face where you want the eyes to go. Press the scratched surfaces to each other then smooth it out.
Why do we have to scratch it, miss?
Scratching helps the clay to stick together better.
Next.
With extra clay, make a circle shape and cut it in half to make 2 semicircles. Scratch these onto the top of the eyes to make eyelids. Then make a nose shape and scratch it along with the place you want to put it as well.
Done, miss. Now what?
Now repeat the scratching step with the ears, and after that put in the mouth and some extra details like warts, earrings or tongue.
A head?
Yes, you can put a head if you wish. Use the skewer to make holes in the middle of the eyes and the middle of the ears. Now once you have done that, smooth the mask over with your hand, removing all the scrappy bits. 'Cause you won't be able to get it off.
Why, miss?
Because after that you put it in the kiln, we wait for it to dry.
What do we do while we are waiting, miss?
Well, here is one I prepared earlier. I also put a coat of white paint over it.
Why?
It makes that colored paint better than it would without the white coat. To paint the mask, prepare yourself the paints and the sponge. Using the sponge, dab it in the paint and squish the sponge onto the mask. Repeat this until the mask is covered.
Can we use more than one color, miss?
You can use as many as you like.
Now let the paint dry.
Yes, and once you have done that, you might want to coat it as a special liquid called resin. This makes the clay smooth and it will keep the paint dry if it ever gets wet. Now for the last step, get a piece of string and tie the 2 ears together so that you see, and put the mask over your face.
That's the last step, miss?
Yes, if you have done everything right, you have now created your own goblin mask.